Народ, где? Что? Народ, где?
Hello. It's quite all right. You are not disturbing me. I would much rather talk than write. Yet here I am, haunted by one thought. I must write. I must write. I must write because I am a writer. Well, I'm a doctor, really. Medicine is my wife, but literature is my mistress. Ha ha. You might know me for my long plays. The Three Sisters, The Seagull, the cherry orchard. As for my stories and my short plays, well, they are what they are, I guess. But Turgenev seem to be better. The public reads them and they like what I write, but then they say, yes, they are clever, but Turgenev were better. Well, you'll have to decide for yourself. I usually make it a goal in my stories not to paint life too hard, but sometimes I can't help it. Some people are just trapped. The first story is about such a person. I call it The Governess. It is about the predicament of a young governess who cares for and educates the children of a well-to-do family.
Julia! Julia!
Yes, madam?
Look at me, child. Pick your head up.
I like to see your eyes when I speak to you.
Yes, madam, yes.
And how are the children coming along with their French lessons?
Oh, they're very bright children, madam.
Eyes up. They're bright, you say. Well, why not? And mathematics, they're doing well in mathematics, I assume?
Yes, madam.
Eyes up. And how about Vanya?
Well, Vanya, she's so clever, madam, especially Vanya.
Certainly, I knew it. I excelled in mathematics. He gets that from his mother, don't you think?
Oh, yes, madam.
Head up. That's it. Don't be afraid to look people in the eyes, my dear. If you think of yourself as inferior, that's how people will treat you.
Yes, ma'am.
Quiet, girl. Now then, let's settle our accounts. I imagine you must need money, although you never asked for it yourself. Let's see now. We agreed upon 30 rubles a month. Is that not true?
Oh, 40, ma'am?
No, 30. I made a note of it. I always pay my governesses 30. Who told you 40?
You did, ma'am. I spoke to no one else concerning money.
Impossible. Maybe you thought you heard 40 when I said 30. If you kept your head up, that would never happen. Look at me again and I'll say it clearly. 30 rubles a month.
If you say so, ma'am.
Settled. 30 a month it is. Now then, you've been here 2 months exactly.
2 months and 5 days, ma'am?
No, exactly 2 months. I made a note of it. You should keep books the way I do, so there wouldn't be these discrepancies. So we have 2 months at 30 rubles a month. Comes to 60 rubles, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Subtract 9 Sundays. We did agree to subtract Sundays, didn't we?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Eyes. Certainly we did. I've always subtracted Sundays. I didn't bother making note of it because I always do it. Don't you recall when I said we would subtract Sundays?
No, ma'am.
Think.
No, ma'am.
You weren't thinking. Your eyes were wandering. Look straight at my face and look hard. Do you remember now?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't hear you, Julia.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I was sure you'd remember. Plus 3 holidays, correct?
2, ma'am. Christmas and New Year's.
And your birthday, that's 3.
I worked on my birthday, ma'am.
You did? There was no need to. My governesses never worked on their birthdays.
But I did work, ma'am.
But that's not the question, Julia. We're discussing financial matters now. I will, however, only count 2 holidays if you insist. Do you insist?
I did work, ma'am.
Then you do insist.
No, ma'am.
Very well. That's 3 holidays, therefore we take off 12 more rubles. Now then, 4 days little Kolya was sick, and there were no lessons.
But I gave lessons to Vanya.
True, but I engaged you to teach 2 children, not 1. Shall I pay you in full for doing only half the work?
No, ma'am.
So we'll deduct it. Now, 3 days you had a toothache, and my husband gave you permission to leave after lunch, correct?
After 4. I worked until 4.
Well, I have it in the book. Did not work after lunch. We have lunch from 1 until 2, not 4, correct?
Yes, ma'am. But I
That's another 7 rubles. 7 and 12 is 19. Subtract. That leaves 41 rubles, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And then on January 4th, you broke a teacup and saucer. Is that true?
Oh, just the saucer, ma'am.
What good is a teacup without a saucer, eh? That's 2 rubles. The saucer was an heirloom. It cost much more, but I'll let it go. I'm used to taking losses.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And then January 9th, Kolya climbed a tree and tore his jacket.
I forbid him to do so, ma'am.
But he didn't listen, did he? 10 rubles, January 14th. Vanya's shoes were stolen.
By the maid, ma'am. You discharged her yourself.
But you get paid good money to watch everything. I explained that at our first meeting. Perhaps you weren't listening. Were you listening that day, Julia, or was your head up in the clouds?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yes, your head was in the clouds.
No, ma'am. I was listening.
Good girl. That means another 5 rubles off. Ah, yes. And the 16th of January, I gave you 10 rubles.
You didn't?
But I made a note of it. Why would I make a note of it if I didn't give it to you?
I don't know, ma'am.
That's not a satisfactory answer, Julia. Why would I make a note of giving you 10 rubles if, in fact, I didn't give them to you? No answer? Then I must have given them to you, mustn't I?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, if you say so, ma'am.
Well, certainly I say so. That's the point of this little talk, to clear these matters up. Take 27 from 41, that leaves 15, correct?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
what's this? Tears? Are you crying? Has something made you unhappy, Julia? Please tell me. It pains me to see you like this. I'm so sensitive to tears. What is it?
Oh, only once since I've been here have I ever been paid any money. And that was by your husband on my birthday. He gave me 3 rubles.
Really? There's no note of it in my book. I'll put it down now. 3 rubles. Thank you for telling me. Sometimes I'm a little lax with my accounts. I'm always shortchanging myself. So then we take 3 more from 14, leaves 11. Do you wish to check my figures?
Oh, there's no need to, ma'am.
Then we're all settled. Here's your salary for 2 months, 11 rubles. Count it.
It's not necessary, ma'am.
Come, let's keep the record straight. Count it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there's only 10, ma'am.
Are you sure? Possibly you dropped one. Could you look on the floor?
Well, I didn't drop any, ma'am. I'm quite sure.
Well, it's not here on my desk. And I know I gave you 11 rubles. Look on the floor.
It's all right, ma'am. 10 rubles. We'll be fine.
Well, keep the 10 for now, and if we don't find it later, we'll discuss it again next month.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You're very kind, ma'am.
Julia, come back here. Why did you thank me?
For the money, ma'am.
For the money? But don't you realize what I've done? I've cheated you, robbed you. I've no such notes in my book. I made up whatever came into my mind. Instead of the 80 rubles which I owe you, I gave you only 10. I've actually stolen from you. And still you thank me? Why?
In the other places that I've worked, they didn't give me anything at all.
Then they cheated you even worse than I. I was playing a little joke on you. A cruel lesson just to teach you. You're much too trusting, and in the world, that's too dangerous. I'm going to give you the entire 80 rubles. It's all ready for you. The rest is in this envelope. Please take it.
As you wish, ma'am.
Julia, is it possible to be so spineless? Why don't you protest? Why don't you speak up? Why don't you cry out against this cruel and unusual punishment? Is it really possible to be so guileless, so innocent, such a, pardon me for being so blunt, such a simpleton? Wow.
Yes, ma'am. It's possible.
I wonder who the real simpleton is here. And now for something completely different. I call my next story The Seduction. Peter Semyonik was the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I have ever met. He was successful with all women, but there was a special challenge to beautiful women married to prominent, rich, successful men. Let him tell you about it in his own words.
If I may say so myself, I am the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. I say this not boastfully, but as a matter of record. The staggering figures speak for themselves. For those men interested in playing this highly satisfying but often dangerous game, I urge you to take out pen and paper and take notes. I am going to explain my methods. In defense, married women may do likewise, but it will do them little good if they happen to be the chosen victim. My method has never failed. Now then, these are the vital characteristics needed. They are patience, more patience, and still more patience. Those who do not have the strength to wait and persist, I urge you to take up bicycling, rowing perhaps. Seducing is not for you. Now then, in order to seduce a man's wife, you must, I repeat, must, keep as far away from her as possible. Pay her practically no attention at all. Ignore her if you must. We will get to her through the husband. You are about to witness a practical demonstration, for as it happens, I am madly and deeply in love this week. My heart pounds with excitement, knowing that she will pass through this garden in a few moments with her husband. Every fiber of my being tells me to throw my arms around her and embrace her with all the passion in my heart. But observe how a master works. I shall be cool almost to the point of freezing. Ah, my heart of hearts and spouse.
Ah, Peter Semyonov. Fancy meeting you here.
Ah, my dear Nikolaevich, how good to see you. You're looking well. Notice how I am not looking at her?
Thank you. And you, devil, you're always looking well. Excuse me, have you met my wife, Irina? Of course you have. You sat next to her at dinner at the Veshnovs. Irina, I don't know what this charmer told you at dinner, but I must warn you, he is a scoundrel, a notorious bachelor, and an exceptional swordsman. Peter, that's the best I can say for you.
You exaggerate, Nicky. Madam, good to see you again.
We were just about to take a stroll. If you're not busy, would you like to walk with us?
Ah, that's very kind of you, Nikolaevich, but as a matter of fact, I am riveted to this spot. A new romance has just entered my life, and my legs are like pillars of granite. Until she is out of sight, I am incapable of movement. Too much, do you think? As I said, be patient.
Fantastic. You never cease to amaze me. Pretty, I suppose?
Suppose magnificent, suppose glorious, and you will suppose correctly.
Any complications?
Oh, as usual, husband, I'm afraid my cause looks hopeless.
Nonsense. I'm betting on you, Peter. And you know me, I never bet unless I know I'm winning. Well, we're off. Good hunting, my boy. Good hunting.
Madam, beautifully done, don't you think? I'm somewhat awed by the work of a true professional. Did you notice how our eyes barely met? We exchanged hardly a word, and yet how much she knows of me already. A, I am a popular bachelor, always attractive to romantic women. B, a man in love and of course also attractive to women. A gifted sportsman, a nice contrast to her sedentary husband. And D, and this is the most important, a dangerous man with the ladies. Quite frankly, at this point, she is disgusted with me. A, because I'm a braggart and a scoundrel. B, because I am shamelessly frank as to my intentions. And C, because she thinks she's not the one I'm interested in. Forgive me if I'm slightly overcome by my own deviousness. By the way, are you getting all of this down? It gets tricky from here on in. Now then, next step, hypnosis. Not hypnosis with the eyes, but with the poison of your tongue. Much like the venomous snake moving in for the kill. And what's more, the best channel is the husband himself. Witnesses, I accidentally run into him at the club.
Peter, you're looking glum. I take it your pursuit isn't going well?
Is it that obvious? I'm doomed, Nicky. I haven't seen her since last I met you and your dear wife. I sleep little and eat less. I've had all my shirt collars taken in a half inch. Ah, Nicky, why do I waste my valuable youth chasing after women I can never call my own? How I envy you.
What is it about me that you envy?
Why, your marriage, of course. A charming woman, your wife, let me tell you.
What is it about her that you find so fascinating?
Her grace, her charm, everything. But mostly it's the way she looks at you, Nicky. Oh, if only someone would look at me like that, with such adoring, loving eyes. It must send quivers through your body.
Quivers? No, not really.
A tingle, perhaps? Don't tell me you don't tingle when she looks at you.
Yes, I tingle all the time.
She's an ideal woman, Nikki. Believe that from a lonely bachelor and be glad fate gave you a wife like that.
Well, perhaps fate will be kind to you as well.
That's what I'm counting on. Good heavens, I'm late for my doctor's appointment.
What's he treating you for?
Melancholia. Please say hello to your extraordinary wife. But I urge you not to repeat our conversation. It might embarrass her fragile sensitivities. Where is the woman for me? I know where. The question is, how soon will she be mine? There is still work to be done, but not by me. That task falls to my aide and accomplice.
By the way, I saw Peter Semyonov today.
Ooh.
Peter Semyonov, the bachelor, we met him in the gardens last week. That attractive fellow, you remember?
I remember what a loathsome man he is.
Well, you may not think so when you hear what he had to say about you.
Oh, nothing that braggart had to say would interest me.
Well, he spoke most enthusiastically about you. He was enraptured by your grace, your quiet charm, and he seemed to feel that you were capable of loving a man in some extraordinary way. It was something about your eyes and the way you look so adoringly. He certainly had a lot to say about you. He went on and on. Well, good night.
What else? Well, what else did he say about me?
Peter?
Oh, whatever that loathsome man's name is. What else did Peter Semyonov say about me?
Well, that's it, more or less, what I told you.
But you said he went on and on.
He did.
But you stopped. I mean, if he went on and on, don't stop. Either go on and on or let's go to bed.
Well, he said how much he envied me, how much he wanted someone to look at him like you look at me.
Well, how does he know the way I look at you?
Well, that day in the gardens, he must have been looking at you when you were looking at me. It sent a tingle all throughout my body.
The way I looked at you?
Precisely, my precious.
But you were looking at him. So you couldn't have seen how I was looking at you. Besides, I was looking at the flowers because he made me so nervous the way he kept avoiding looking at me. You must have tingled for some other reason.
It's getting rather confusing. The point is, he found you fascinating. I thought it would please you.
Well, it doesn't. I would rather you didn't tell me such stories. Are you planning to see him again soon?
Tomorrow for lunch.
Well, I would rather not be discussed at lunch. Tell him that. And at dinner, you can tell me what he said. Good night, Nikki.
Good night, my angel.
Good night, my love. I'm spellbound by my own powers. I succeeded not only in piquing her interest, but in causing her heart to flutter at the mention of my name. All this was accomplished, mind you, while I was home taking a pine-scented bath. Luncheon the next day was not only nourishing, but productive. By the way, old man, I ran into Nekrasov yesterday, the artist. It seems he's been commissioned by some wealthy prince to paint the head of a typical Russian beauty. He asked me if I knew anyone who might be a model for him. I said I knew just the woman, but I didn't dare ask her myself. What do you think about asking your wife?
Asking my wife what?
To be the model, of course. That lovely head of hers. It would be a damn shame if that exquisite face missed the chance to become immortalized for all the world.
For all the world? I see what you mean.
Why don't you discuss it with her?
Good idea. I'll discuss it with her. So I said I would discuss it with you. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's nonsense. But how did he put it? I mean, did he actually say typical Russian beauty?
And that it would be a damn shame if that exquisite face missed the chance to become immortalized for all the world. That's exactly what he said.
Oh, he does get carried away by his own voice. Those exact words? I mean, you didn't leave anything out.
Oh yes, quote, that lovely face. I left out that lovely face. He said that a number of times, I think.
He does go on, doesn't he? Well, how many times did he say it? Once, twice, what?
Let me think. It's hard to remember.
It's not important. But next time, I wish you would write these things down.
Huh. Have you seen her near me? Have you heard me speak to her? Has any correspondence passed between us? No, my dear pupils. And yet she hangs on my every word, uttered by her husband, of course. Awesome, isn't it? We apply this treatment from 2 to 3 weeks. Her resistance is weakening, weakening, weakening.
I think his mind is elsewhere, if you ask me, on some woman from the looks on him.
Well, what woman? Has he mentioned any women in particular?
No, he's too discreet for that. He'll probably protect her good name at any cost. Instead, he talks of you all day. Poor fool, I'm beginning to feel sorry for him.
Oh, it's really none of our concern, Nikki. Did you ask him for dinner tomorrow?
He's busy.
Or the next day?
Busy.
Well, next week, next month? What, doesn't the man eat?
He says he's involved on a very important project and it will be months before he can see us. He did say that with patience and persistence, good things will come to him. Oh, by the way, he thinks you should go onto the stage.
The stage? Me on stage? Why, in heaven's name?
Well, he said, just a moment. I don't want to misquote him.
No, take your time. Try to get it as accurately as possible.
Yes, he said, with such an attractive appearance, such intelligence, sensitiveness, it's a sin for her to be just a housewife.
Oh, dear. He said that?
And that, quote, ordinary demands don't exist for such women.
Nikki, I don't want to hear any more.
Natures like that should not be bound by time and space.
Nikki, I implore you, please stop.
And then he says, if I weren't so busy, I'd take her away from you.
He said that?
Yeah, it's right here.
Well, what did you say, Nikki? I mean, it's important that I know what you said to him then.
Well, I said, take her then. I mean, after all, I'm not going to fight a duel over her.
Nikki, you mustn't discuss me with him anymore. I beg you not to mention my name to him ever again.
But I don't, my love. He's the one who's always bringing up the subject. He actually accused me of not understanding you. He shouted at me, "She's an exceptional creature, strong, seeking a way out. If I were Turgenev, I would put her in a novel, The Passionate Angel. I would call it. The man is weird, definitely weird."
He's delivering my love letters, sealing them with kisses, and calls me weird, I ask you. So let's see what we've got so far. The poor woman is definitely consumed with passion for me. At least to meet me, she is sure I am the only man who truly understands her. Her yawning, disinterested husband transmits my remarks, but it is my voice she hears, my words that sing to her heart. The sweet poison is doing its work. I am relentless. There is no room for mercy in this seducing game. Observe how deftly the final stroke is administered. For the faint-hearted, I urge you to look away.
No, Nikki, I don't want to hear. Not another word from him. Nothing.
Exactly, that's what he said. He begged me not to tell you anything. He said he knew because of your sweet, sympathetic nature, you would worry to hear of someone else's distress.
But he's in distress?
Worse. He's gloomy, morose, morbid, in the depths of despair.
Oh, no. But why? What's the matter with him?
Loneliness. He says he has no relatives, no true friends, not a soul who understands him.
But doesn't he know we understand him perfectly? Doesn't he know how much we appreciate him and commune with him daily? Doesn't he know how much we yearn to be with him, you and I?
I tried to make that clear. I again urged him to come home to dinner with me, but he said he can't face people. He's so depressed he can't stay home. He paces in the public gardens where we met him every single night.
What time?
Between 8 and 9. By the way, we're invited to the Vashkovics tomorrow for dinner. Is 8 o'clock all right with you?
No. I'm visiting Aunt Sophia tomorrow. She's ill. I'll be there at 9 or a little after.
Please, no applause. I couldn't have done it alone. I share that honor with my good friend and collaborator, her husband. He wooed her so successfully that there is no carriage fast enough for her to be in my arms. She ran all the way. She could barely wait. I was there. Observe. Now for the conclusion. You will understand if I ask you to busy yourselves otherwise. These next few moments are private, and I am, after all, a gentleman. My dear, my sweet, dear angel, at last I can speak the words I have longed.
Oh. No, not a word, not a sound, please. I couldn't bear it. Not until you've heard what's in my heart. For weeks now, I've been in torment. You've used my husband as a clever and devious device to arouse my passions, which I freely admit have been lying dormant these past 7 years. Whether you are sincere or not, you have awakened in me desires and longings I never dreamt were possible. You appeal to my vanity, and I succumb. You bestir my thought of untold pleasures, and I weaken. You attack my every vulnerability, and I surrender. I am here, Peter Semyonov, if you want me. But let me add this. I love my husband dearly. He's not a passionate man, nor even remotely romantic. Our life together reaches neither the heights of ecstasy nor the depths of anguish. We have an even marriage, moderate, comfortable. And in accepting this condition and the full measure of his devoted love, I have been happy. I come to you now, knowing that once you take me in your arms, my marriage and my life with Nikki will be destroyed for all time. I'm too weak and too selfish to make that choice. I rely on your strength of character. The option is yours, my dear Peter. Whichever one you choose will make me both miserable and eternally grateful. I beg of you not to use me as an amusement. Although even with that knowledge, I would not refuse you. I am yours to do with as you will, Peter Semyonov. If you want me, open your arms now and I will come to you. If you love me, turn your back and I will leave and never see or speak to you again. The choice is yours, my dearest, sweetest love of my life. I await your decision. God bless you, Peter Semyonov. I wish that life brings you the happiness you have just brought to me.
Peter Semyonov, the former seducer of other men's wives, from that day on turned his attention to unmarried women only, until one day the perfect girl came along, and the confirmed bachelor married at last. He is today a completely happy man, except possibly on those occasions when some dashing young officer says to Peter,
"How attractive I find your lovely young wife, but please don't tell her that I told you that."
Life moves on to old age. I'm taking you to a park now. An older woman is sitting on a bench. She is reading a book. A distinguished-looking older gentleman appears. For these two, it is too late for happiness.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Oh, fine weather indeed, wouldn't you say, madam?
Well, I hadn't noticed really. Yes, I suppose it is a lovely day.
Oh, not many more of these left. Winter's just around the bend by that tree over there.
Yes, the winters seem to be getting longer lately. Have you noticed? They come sooner and they stay longer.
Oh, I've noticed it, madam. Only in these last few years have I noticed it.
A kind, gentle-looking person who's seen his share of life. A kind, gentle-looking person, and he's never with a wife. If this kind, gentle-looking gentleman speaks once again to me, should this shy, nervous, widowed lady go out with him for tea?
Fine figure of a lady with quality and tone. Fine figure of a lady, she always sits alone. Should this fine figure of a gentleman who's older than the sea ask the fine figure of a lady if she'd like to share some tea. I was wondering, madam,
Yes?
I was wondering, do you have the time of day?
I don't have a timepiece.
Oh, okay, no matter. It wasn't urgent. My business can wait. Yes, it can wait. Should this old weather-beaten gentleman take one more chance at life, she reminds me of that sweet lady whom I lovingly called wife.
I had my tender-hearted gentleman. Can I go through again all the pain, joy, and all the sorrow that you get from loving men?
Is it too late for happiness? Too late for flings? Too late to ask for love? There aren't many springs
Left for people who spend their nights waiting for the day, for someone to share delights long since passed away.
Too late for happiness?
Too soon for fall.
Too late for anything?
Anything at all.
Seems to be clouding up a bit, huh?
Yes, I'm beginning to feel a chill in the air.
Oh, would you like my scarf for your neck?
Oh, thank you. No, I should be getting home. It's getting late.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. I was thinking the same thing. Unless
Yes?
you'd care to join me for tea, a cup of hot tea. Might be just the thing, a cup of tea.
Tea. Tea, you say? Well, that's very nice of you. I would love to.
You would?
Yes. But not today. It's getting late. There's always tomorrow.
Yes, of course. Perhaps tomorrow. Good, there's always tomorrow.
Good day, sir.
Good day, madam. Yes, there's still time for happiness.
Time to be gay.
Still time to answer yes. But just not
today.
I always find the relationships between men and women fascinating. Women are usually considered to be the weaker partner. Here's a story I call a defenseless creature. We're in a bank. The bank official, Kustinov, enters. He is suffering terribly with an awful case of gout. His foot is heavily bandaged and he is relying on a cane. The pain is excruciating.
Good morning, Mr. Kustinov.
Shh, please. Lower your voice.
I'm sorry, sir.
It's just that my gout is acting up and my nerves are like firecrackers and the least little friction sets them off.
It must be very painful, sir.
Combing my hair today was agony.
Mr. Kustinov?
What is it, Pachotkin?
There's a woman who insists on seeing you. We can't make head or tail out of her story, but she insists on seeing you, seeing the directing manager. Perhaps if you're not well.
Oh, no, the business of the bank comes before my minor physical ailments, but show her in, please, quietly. Good morning, madam. Forgive me for not standing, but I'm somewhat incapacitated with gout. Now, what can I do for you?
Now, you can help me, sir. I pray to God you can help me. No one else in this world seems to care.
Oh, calm yourself, madam. Calm yourself. I beg of you, please be calm.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure that whatever we can sort out all these problems sensibly and quietly. Now, what exactly is the trouble?
Well, sir, it's my husband, Collegiate Assessor Shukin. He's been sick for 5 months. 5 agonizing months.
Oh, I know the horrors of illness and can sympathize with you, madame. What's the nature of his illness?
It's a nervous disorder. Everything grates on his nerves. If you so much as touch him, he'll scream. How or why he got it, nobody knows.
Oh, I have an inkling. Please go on, though, a little less descriptively, if possible.
Well, while the poor man was lying in bed.
You're not going to scream again, are you?
Not that I don't have cause. While he was lying in bed these 5 months recuperating, he was dismissed from his job. No reason at all.
Oh, that's a pity, certainly, but I don't quite see the connection with the bank, madam.
You don't know how I suffered during his illness. I nursed him from morning till night, doctored him from night till morning, besides cleaning my house, taking care of my children, feeding a dog, a cat, a goat, my sister's bird who is sick.
Bird was sick?
My sister! She gets dizzy spells. She's been dizzy a month now, and she's getting dizzier every day.
Extraordinary! However,
I had to take care of her children, her house, her cat, her goat, and then her bird bit one of my children. So a cat bit her bird. And so my oldest daughter, the one with the broken arm, drowned my sister's cat. And now my sister wants my goat in exchange, or else she says she'll either drown my cat or break my oldest daughter's other arm.
Yes, well, you certainly had your pack of troubles, haven't you? But I don't see...
Ben, when I went to get my husband's pay, they deducted 24 rubles and 36 kopecks. For what, I asked? Because they said he borrowed it from the employees' fund. But that's impossible. He could never borrow without my approval. I'd break his arm. But not while he's sick, of course. I don't have the strength. I'm not well myself, sir. I have this racking cough that's terrible. Here.
Oh, I can well understand why your husband took 5 months to recuperate, but what is it that you want from me, madam?
What rightfully belongs to my husband, his 24 rubles and 36 kopecks. They won't give it to me because I'm a woman, weak and defenseless. Some of them have laughed at me in my face, sir. Laughed! Where's the humor, I wonder, in a poor, defenseless creature like myself?
None. I can see none at all. However, madam, I don't wish to be unkind, but I'm afraid that you've come to the wrong place. Your petition, no matter how well justified, has nothing to do with us. you'll have to go to the agency where your husband is employed.
What do you mean? I've been to 5 agencies already, and none of them will even listen to my petition. I'm about to lose my mind. The hair is coming out of my head. Look at my hair by the fistful. Don't tell me to go to another agency.
Oh, please, madam, please, keep your hair in its proper place. Now listen to me carefully. This is a bank. A bank. We're in the banking business. We bank money. Funds that are brought here are banked by us. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
I'm saying I can't help you.
You say you can't help me?
I'm trying. I don't think I'm making headway.
Are you saying you don't believe my husband is sick? Here is a doctor's certificate. There's the proof. Do you still doubt that my husband is suffering from a nervous disorder?
Oh, not only do I not doubt it, I would swear to it.
Look at it. You didn't look at it.
It's really not necessary. I know full well how your husband must be suffering.
What's the point in having a doctor's certificate if you don't look at it? Look at it.
I'm looking. I see your husband is sick. It's right here on the certificate. Well, you certainly have a good case, madam, but I'm afraid that you still have come to the wrong place. I'm getting excited.
You lied to me. I took you as a man of your word, and you lied to me.
I lie? When?
When you said you read the doctor's certificate, you couldn't have read the description of my husband's illness without seeing that he was fired unjustly. Don't take advantage of me just because I'm a weak, defenseless woman. Do me the simple courtesy of reading the doctor's certificate. That's all I ask. Read it, then I'll go.
But I read it. What's the point in reading something twice when I've already read it once?
You didn't read it carefully.
I read it in detail.
Then you read it too fast. Read it slower.
I don't have to read it slower. I'm a fast reader.
Maybe you didn't absorb it.
I absorbed it. It sank in. I could pass a test on what's written here, but it doesn't make any difference because it has nothing to do with our bank.
Did you read the part where he says he has a nervous disorder? Read that part again. Now tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh, that part. Oh, yes. I see your husband has a nervous disorder. My, how terrible. Only I can't help you. Now, please go.
I'm sorry, Excellency. I hope I haven't caused you any pain. I kiss your foot.
Oh, please don't. No. Oh, can't you get this through your balding head? If you would just realize that to come to us with this kind of a claim is as strange as you're trying to get a haircut from a butcher.
You can't get a haircut in a butcher shop. Why would anyone go to a butcher shop for a haircut? Are you laughing at me?
Laughing? I'm lucky to be breathing. Petchotkin!
Did I tell you I'm fasting? I haven't eaten in 3 days. I want to eat, but nothing stays down. I had the same cup of coffee 3 times today.
Oh, Petchotkin!
I'm skin and bones. I faint at the least provocation. Watch. Oh. Did you see? You saw how I just fainted? 8 times a day it happens.
What is it, Mr. Kistonov? What's wrong?
Get her out of here. Who let her in my office?
You did, sir. I asked you and you said show her in.
I thought you meant a human being, not a lunatic with a doctor's certificate.
Wouldn't even read it. I gave it to him. He threw it back in my face. You look like a kind person. Have pity on me. You read it and see if my husband is sick or not.
I read it, madam, twice.
Me too. I had to read it twice too.
You just showed it to me outside. You showed it to everyone. We all read it, even the doorman.
You just looked at it. You didn't read it.
Don't argue. Read it, Pachotkin. For God's sake, read it so we can get her out of here.
Oh, yes, it says your husband is sick. Now will you please leave, madam, or I will have to get someone to remove you.
Yes, good. Remove her. Get a doorman, get 2 guards. But be careful. She's as strong as an ox.
If you touch me, I'll scream so loud they'll hear it all over the city. You'll lose all your depositors. No one will come to a bank where they beat weak, defenseless women. I think I'm going to faint again.
Oh. Defenseless? You are as defenseless as a charging rhinoceros. You are as weak as the king of the jungle. You are a plague, madam, a plague that wipes out all that crosses your path. You are a raging river that washes out bridges and stately homes. You're a wind that blows villages over mountains. It's women like you that put men like me into conditions like your husband's.
Are you saying you're not going to help me?
Hit her, Pachotkin. Strike her. I give you permission to knock her down. Beat some sense into her.
You hear? You hear how I'm abused? He would have you hit an orphaned mother. Did you hear me cough? Listen to this cough.
Madam, if we could just discuss this in my office.
Get your hands off of me. Help, help. I'm being beaten. Oh, merciful God, they're beating me.
I am not beating you.
Beat her, you fool. Kick her while you got the chance. We'll never get her out of here. Knock her senseless.
A curse. A curse on your bank. I put a curse on you and your depositors. I put may the money in your vault turn to potatoes. May the gold in your cellars turn to onions. May your rubles turn to radishes and your kopecks to pickles.
Stop it, I beg you, Pachotkin. Give her the money. Give her what she wants. Give her anything, but get her out of here.
24 rubles and 36 kopecks. Not a penny more. That's all that's due me. That's all I want.
Come with me. I'll get your money.
And another ruble to get me home. I'd walk, but I have weak ankles.
Give her a taxi. Anything she wants, but get her out.
Oh, God bless you, sir. You're a kind man. I remove the curse. Curse be gone. Onions to money, potatoes to gold.
Oh, remove her. My God, my hair is falling out.
Oh, there's one other thing, sir. I'll need a letter of recommendation so my husband can get another job. And don't bother yourself about it today. I'll be back in the morning. God bless you, sir.
She's coming back? She's coming back? She's coming back? Oh my God, she's coming back!
What you've seen so far are all stories I wrote, actually adapted by a writer I unfortunately never got the chance to meet, Neil Simon. I died first. This next piece is a one-act written as a play by me. I call it The Marriage Proposal. Wrote it in 1889. After it came my great works, the one I told you about. I never considered my one-acts as worthy. Still, The Marriage Proposal was very popular in Moscow. Even Tsar Alexander III loved it. So listen to that, Turgenev. Anyway, imagine you are in the home of the farmer Chubakov and his unmarried older daughter, Natalia. A neighboring farmer walks in the door.
My God, if it isn't my old friend Ivan Vasilovich! Glad to see you, boy. Glad to see you. This is certainly a surprise, and that's a fact. How are you doing?
Oh, thanks a lot. And how are you? Doing, I mean.
We get by, my boy, we get by. Glad to know you think of us occasionally, and all the rest of it. Glad you're here, and that's a fact. Don't want to forget your old friends and... Why so formal, boy? What's the occasion? You're all dressed up and everything. You on your way to a party or what?
No, I only came to see you, Stepan Stepanovich.
But why the fancy clothes, boy? You look like you're still celebrating New Year's Eve.
Well, I'll tell you. You see, Stepan Stepanovich, I hope I'm not disturbing you, but I came to ask you a little favor. This isn't the first time I've had occasion, as they say, to ask you for help, and I want you to know that I really admire you when I do it. What I mean is, look, you have to excuse me, Stepan Stepanovich. This is making me very nervous. I'll just take a little drink of water if it's all right with you.
He wants to lend me to lend him some money. I won't. So, what exactly are you here for, Big, strong boy like you.
You see, I really have the greatest respect for you, Stepan Respectovich. Excuse me, I mean Stepan Excuse-me-vich. What I mean is I'm really nervous, you can plainly see. Well, what it all comes down to is this. You're the only person who can give me what I want, and I know I don't deserve it, of course. That goes without saying. And I haven't had any real right to it either, but...
Yeah, boy, about the bush with me. Speak right up. What do you want?
All right, I will. I will. Well, what I came for is, I came to ask for the hand of your daughter, Natalia.
Oh, Mama! Ivan Vasilovich! Say it again. I don't think I caught that last part.
Oh, I came to ask.
Lover boy, buddy boy, I can't tell you how happy I am and everything. And that's a fact. And all the rest of it. I've always hoped this would happen. It's a long-time dream come true. I have always loved you, boy. Just like you were my own son. And you know it. God bless you both and all the rest of it. This is a dream come true. But why am I sitting here like a big dummy? Happiness has got my tongue. That's what's happened. Happiness has got my tongue. Oh, from my heart. You wait right here. I'll go get Natalia and whatever.
What do you think, Stepan Stepanovich? Do you think she'll say yes?
Big, good-looking fellow like you. How could she help herself? Of course she'll say yes. And that's a fact. She's like a cat in heat, and all the rest of it. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
It must be cold in here. I'm starting to shiver, just like I was going to take an exam. The main thing is, you have to make up your mind. If you just keep thinking about it, you argue back and forth and talk a lot and wait for the ideal woman or for true love. You'll never get married. Brr, it's cold in here. Natalia is a very good housekeeper. She's kind of good looking. She's been to school. What more do I need? I'm starting to get that hum in my ear again. It must be my nerves. And I can't just not get married. I have to start leading a regular, normal life. There's something wrong with my heart. I've got a murmur. I'm always nervous as a tick. And the least little thing can drive me crazy. Like right now, for instance, my lips are starting to shudder, and that little what's-it keeps twitching in my right eyelid. But the worst thing about me is sleep. I mean, I don't. I go to bed, and then as soon as I start falling asleep, all of a sudden something in my left side goes jerk, and it pounds right up into my shoulder and my head. I jump out of bed like crazy and walk around a while, and then I lie down again. And as soon as I start falling asleep, all of a sudden something in my left side goes jerk, and that happens 20 times.
Oh, it's you. It's just you. And Papa said, go in the other room. There's somebody wants to sell you something. Oh, well. So, well, how are you? How are you doing?
How do you do, Natalia?
You'll have to excuse me. I'm still in my apron. We've been shelling peas. How come you haven't been by to see me in so long? Hey, sit down. Sit down. You feel like something to eat?
No thanks. I ate already.
Smoke? Go ahead if you want to. There's some matches. Beautiful day today, isn't it? And yesterday it was raining so hard, the men in the hayfields couldn't do a thing. How many sacks you people got cut so far? You know what happened to me? I got so carried away. I had them cut the whole meadow, and now I'm sorry I did. The hay's going to rot. So, oh my, look at you. What do you got on those fancy clothes for? Well, if you aren't something, you going to a party or what? You know, you're looking kind of cute these days. Anyway, what are you all dressed up for?
Well, you see, Natalia, well, the fact is, I decided to come ask you to listen to what I have to say. Of course, you'll probably be sort of surprised and maybe get mad, but it's awfully cold in here.
So what did you come for? Huh?
I'll try to make this brief. Now, Natalia, you know, we've known each other for a long time, ever since we were children, and I've had the pleasure of knowing your entire family. My poor dead aunt and her husband, and as you know, I inherited my land from them. They always had the genuine respect for your father and your poor dead mother. The Lomovs and the Chubakovs have always been on very friendly terms, almost like we were related. And besides, well, you already know this, and besides, your land and mine are right next door to each other. Take the Meadowland, my Meadowland, for instance. It lies right alongside of your birch grove.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think you just said my Meadowland. Are you saying that Meadowland belongs to you?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
I never. Meadowland belongs to us, not to you.
Well, no, Natalia, Meadowland is mine.
Well, that's news to me. Since when is it yours?
What do you mean, since when? I'm talking about the little pasture they call Meadowland, the one that makes a wedge between your birch grove and Burnt Swamp.
Yeah, I know which one you mean, but it's ours.
Natalia, I think you're making a mistake. That field belongs to me.
Ivan Vasilovich, do you realize what you're saying? And just how long has it belonged to you?
What do you mean, how long? As far as I know, it's always been mine.
Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me, but I think,
It's all very clearly marked on the deeds, Natalia. Now, it's true there was some argument about it back a ways, but nowadays everybody knows it belongs to me, so there's no use arguing about it. You see, what happened was my aunt's grandmother let your grandfather's tenants have that field free of charge for an indefinite time in exchange for them making bricks for her. So your godfather's people used that land for free for about 40 years, and they started to think it was theirs. But then when it turned out, well, the real problem was that it was...
Whoa, my grandfather and my great-grandfather always said that their land went as far as Burnt Swamp, which means Meadowland belongs to us. So what's the point of arguing with me? It's you just being rude.
I can show you the papers, Natalia Stepanovna.
Oh, you're just teasing. You're trying to pull my leg. This is all a big joke after all. We've owned that land for going on 300 years, and all of a sudden you're saying it doesn't belong to us? Excuse me, Ivan Vasilovich, excuse me. I can't believe you just said that. And I don't really care anything about that old meadow. It's only 12 acres. It's not even worth 300 rubles. But that's not the point. It's the injustice of it that hurts. And I don't care what anybody says. Injustice is something I just can't put up with.
But you didn't listen to what I was saying, please. Your grandfather's tenants, as I was trying very politely to point out to you, made bricks for my aunt's grandmother. Now my aunt's grandmother just wanted to make things easier and...
Grandmother, grandfather, father, what difference does it make? That field belongs to us, and that's that.
That field belongs to me.
That field belongs to us. You can go on about your grandmother until you're blue in the face. You can wear 15 fancy coats. It still belongs to us. It's ours, ours, ours. I don't want anything that belongs to you, but I do want to keep what's my own. Thank you very much.
Natalia Stepanovna, I don't care about that field either. I don't need that field. I'm talking about the principle of the thing. If you want the field, you can have it. I'll give it to you.
If there's any giving to be done, I'll do it. I'll do it. That field belongs to me, Ivan Vasilovich. I have never gone through anything this crazy in my life. Up until now, I've always thought of you as a good neighbor or a real friend. Last year, we even lent you our threshing machine, which means we didn't get to do our threshing until November. And now, all of a sudden, you're treating us like gypsies? You give me my own field. You'll give me my own field. Excuse me, but that's a pretty unneighborly thing to do. In fact, in my opinion, it's downright insulting.
So in your opinion, I'm some kind of claim jumper, you mean? Well, look, lady, I've never tried to take anybody else's land, and I'm not going to let anybody try and tell me I did. Not even you. Meadowland is mine.
You lie, it's ours.
It's mine.
You lie. I'll show you. I'll send my mowers out there today.
You'll what?
I said I'll send my mowers out there today and they'll hay the field. They'll get the field flat.
You do, and I'll break their necks.
You wouldn't dare.
Meadowland is mine. You understand? Mine.
Please don't shout. Please don't shout. You can scream. You can scream and carry on all you want in your own house. But as long as you're in mine, act like a gentleman.
I tell you, if I didn't have these murmurs, these awful pains, these veins throbbing in my temples, I wouldn't be talking like this. Meadowland is mine.
Ours.
Mine.
Ours.
Mine.
What's going on? What are you both yelling for?
Papa, will you please explain to this gentleman just who owns Meadowland, him or us?
Lover boy, Meadowland belongs to us.
I beg your pardon, Stepan Stepanich. How can it belong to you? Think what you're saying. My aunt's grandmother let your grandfather's people have that land to use free of charge temporarily. And they used that land for 40 years and started thinking it was theirs, but it turned out what the problem was.
Allow me, sweetheart. You're forgetting that the reason those people didn't pay your granny and all the rest of it was because there was already a real problem about just who did own the meadow and everything. But nowadays, every dog in the village knows it belongs to us. And that's a fact. I don't think you've ever seen the survey map.
Look, I can prove to you that Meadowland belongs to me.
No, you can't, lover boy.
I can too.
Oh, for crying out loud. What are you shouting for? You can't prove anything by shouting, and that's a fact. Look, I am not interested in taking any of your land, and neither am I interested in giving away any of my own. Why should I? And if it comes down to it, lover boy, if you want to make a case out of this, or anything like that, I'd just as soon give it to the peasants as give it to you. So there.
You're not making any sense. Well, what gives you the right to give away someone else's land?
I'll be the judge of whether I have the right or not. The fact is, boy, I am not used to being talked to in that tone of voice and all the rest of it. I am twice your age, boy, and I'll ask you to talk to me without getting so excited and whatever.
No, you think I'm just stupid, and you're just making fun of me. You stand there and tell me my own land belongs to you, and then you expect me to be calm about it and talk as if nothing had happened. That's not the way good neighbors behave, Stepan Stepanich. You are not a neighbor. You are a usurper.
I'm a what? What did you call me? You boy, what did you just call me?
Papa, you know what? Send our mowers out to Meadowland right this very minute. Meadowland belongs to us, and I'll never give it up. Never, never, never.
We'll see about that. I'll take you to court, and then we'll see who it belongs to.
To court? Well, you just go right ahead, boy. You take us to court. I dare you. Oh, now I get it. You were just waiting for a chance to take us to court and all the rest of it. And whatever, it's inbred, isn't it? Your whole family was like that. They couldn't wait to start suing. They were always in court, and that's a fact.
You leave my family out of this. The Lomovs were all decent, law-abiding citizens, every one of them. Not like people I could name who were arrested for embezzlement. Your uncle, for instance.
Every single one of the Lomovs was crazy. All of them.
All of them, every single one.
Your uncle was a falling down drunk, and that's a fact. And your aunt, the youngest one, she used to run around with an architect. An architect! And that's a fact.
And your mother was a hunchback. Oh my God, I got a pain in my side. My head's beginning to pound. Oh my God, give me some water.
And your father was a gambler and a glutton.
And your aunt was a tattletale. She was the worst gossip in town.
My left leg is paralyzed, and you're a sneak. Oh, my heart, and everybody knows that during the elections, you people, I've got spots in front of my eyes. Where's my hat?
You are a low-down, two-faced snake in the grass. And that's a fact. An absolute fact.
Here's my hat, my heart. How do I get out of here? Where's the door? I think I'm dying. I can't move my leg.
And don't you ever set foot in this house again.
And you just take us to court. Go ahead and see what happens.
You can go to hell.
What a creep. See if I ever trust a neighbor again after this.
Crook.
Creep. He takes over somebody else's land and then has the nerve to threaten them?
And would you believe that wigworm, that chicken brain, had the nerve to come here and propose? Ah! He proposed.
He proposed what?
What? He came here to propose to you.
To propose? To me? He came here to propose to me? Why didn't you tell me that before?
Well, that's why he was all dressed up in that stupid coat. What a silly sausage.
Me? He came to propose to me? Oh my God! Oh my God! Make him come back! Make him come back! Oh, please make him come back!
What's the matter? What's the matter with you? Oh. 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 Oh my God. What have I done? I ought to shoot myself. I ought to be hanged. I ought to be tortured to death.
Make him come back. Make him come back.
All right. All right. Just stop screaming, please. He's coming. He's coming back. He's coming back and everything. God damn it. You talk to him yourself this time. I can't, and that's a fact.
Make him come back. Make him come back. Make him come back.
I just told you he is coming back. Oh, God almighty, what an ungrateful assignment, being the father of a grown-up girl. I'll slit my throat. I swear I'll slit my throat. We yell at the man, we insult him, we chase him away. And it's all your fault. Your fault.
It's your fault.
All right, I'm sorry. It's my fault, or whatever. This time, you do the talking yourself.
I'm having a heart murmur. It's awful. My leg is paralyzed. My left side is going dirk.
You'll have to excuse us, Ivan Vasilovich. We got a little bit carried away. Anyway, I just remembered Meadowland belongs to you after all.
There's something wrong with my heart. It's beating too loud. Meadowland is mine? These little whatsits are tweaking both my eyelids.
It's yours. Meadowland is all yours. We made a mistake.
It was always just the principle of the thing. I don't care about the land, but I do care about the principle of the thing.
I know the principle of the thing. Why don't we talk about something else?
And besides, I really can prove it. My aunt's grandmother let your grandfather's tenants have that field.
It's enough. Anyway, I think we should change the subject. I don't know where to start. I know. How's the hunting? Are you going hunting anytime soon?
Oh, yes. Geese and grouse hunting, Natalia. Geese and grouse. I was thinking of going after the harvest is in. Oh, by the way, did I tell you the worst thing happened to me? You know my old hound Guesser? Well, he went lame on me.
That's terrible. What happened?
I don't know. He must have dislocated his hip, or maybe he got into a fight with some other dogs and got bit. And he was the best hound dog, not to mention how much he cost. I got him from Mironov, and I paid $125 for him.
Ivan Vasilyevich, you paid too much.
Oh, I thought I got him pretty cheap. He's a real good dog.
Papa only paid $85 for his hound dog, Messer, and Messer is a lot better than your old Guesser.
Messer is better than Guesser? What do you mean? Messer is better than Guesser?
Of course he's better. I mean, he's not full grown yet. He's still a pup, but when it comes to bark and bite, nobody has a better dog.
Oh, excuse me, Natalia, but I think you're forgetting something. He's got an underslung jaw, and a dog with an underslung jaw can never be a good retriever.
An underslung jaw? That's the first I ever heard of it.
I'm telling you, his lower jaw is shorter than his upper.
What did you do, measure it?
Of course I measured it. I grant you he's not so bad on point, but you tell him to go fetch and he can barely do the...
Oh, wait a minute. In the first place, our Messer is a purebred from a very good line. He's the son of Pusher and Pisser, so that Limpfoot, one of yours, he's like a joke. Look at him. You paid too much for him. He's ugly, he's old, and he's full of fleas.
He may be old, but I wouldn't take 5 of your Messers for him. How can you even say that? Guesser is a real hound, and that Messer is a joke. He's not even worth worrying about. Every old fart in the county's got a dog just like your Messer, and there's a mess of them everywhere you look. You paid 20 rubles. You paid too much.
Ivan Vasilyevich, for some reason you are being perverse on purpose. First you think Meadowland belongs to you. Now you think Guesser is better than Messer? I don't think much of a man who doesn't say what he knows to be a fact. You know perfectly well that Messer is 100 times better than that dumb old Guesser of yours. So why do you keep saying the opposite?
You must think I'm either blind or stupid. Can't you understand that your Messer has an underslung jaw?
Not true.
He has an underslung jaw.
It's not true.
What are you shouting for?
What are you lying for? I can't stand any more of this. You ought to be getting ready to put your old Messer out of his misery, and here you are comparing him to our Messer?
You'll have to excuse me. I can't go on with this conversation. I'm having a heart murmur.
This just goes to prove what I've always known. The hunters who talk the most are the ones who know the least.
Will you please do me a favor and just shut up? My heart is starting to pound. Shut up.
I will not shut up until you admit that Messer is 100 times better than Guesser.
He's 100 times worse. I hope he croaks your Messer. Oh, my head and my eyes, my shoulders.
And your dumb old Guesser doesn't need to croak. He's dead already.
Shut up. Oh, I'm having a heart attack.
I will not shut up.
Now what's the matter?
Well, Papa, will you please tell us frankly, on your honor, who's a better dog, Guesser or Messer?
Stepan Stepanich, I just want to know one thing. Does your Messer have an underslung jaw or doesn't he? Yes or no?
Well, so what if he does? What difference does it make? Anyway, there isn't a better dog in the whole county, and that's a fact.
But don't you think my Guesser is better? On your honor.
Now, lover boy, don't get all upset. Just wait a minute, please. Your Guesser has his good points and whatever. He's a thoroughbred, got a good stance, nice round hindquarters, all the rest of it. But that dog, if you really want to know, boy, has got two vital defects. He's old and he's got a short bite.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm having another heart murmur. Let's just look at the facts, shall we? All I'd like you to do is just think back to that time at the field trials when my Guesser kept up with the Count's dog Fresser. They were going ear to ear, and your Messer was a whole half-mile behind.
He was behind because one of the Count's men whooped him with his whip.
But that's not the point. All the other dogs were after the fox, and your Messer was chasing a sheep.
That's not true. Now listen, boy. I have a very quick temper, as you very well know, and that's a fact. So I think we should keep this discussion very short. He whooped him because none of the rest of you can stand watching other people's dogs perform. You're all rotten with envy. Even you, buddy boy, even you. The fact is, all somebody has to do is point out that somebody's dog is better than your Guesser, and right away you start in with this and that and all the rest of it. I happen to remember exactly what happened.
And I remember too.
And I remember too. What do you remember?
My heart murmur. My leg is paralyzed. I can't move.
There. What kind of a hunter are you? You do better than catching cockroaches instead of out hunting foxes. A heart murmur.
She's right. What kind of a hunter are you? You and your heart murmur should stay home instead of galloping cross country, and that's a fact. You say you like to hunt. All you really want to do is ride around arguing and interfering with other people's dogs and whatever. You are not, and that's a fact, a hunter.
And what makes you think you're a hunter? The only reason you go hunting is so you can get in good with the Count. Oh, my heart. Oh, you're a sneak.
I'm a what? A sneak? Shut up!
A sneak.
You young whippersnapper, you puppy!
You rat, you rickety old rat!
You shut up or I'll give you a tail full of buckshot, you snoop!
Everybody knows your poor dead wife. Oh, my heart used to beat you. My legs, my hat, I see spots. I'm going to faint. I'm going to faint.
And everybody knows your housekeeper has you tied to her apron strings.
Wait, here it comes. A heart attack. My shoulder just came undone. Where is my shoulder? I'm going to die. Get a doctor. Oh.
What? Whippersnapper, milk-sucker, snoop. You make me sick.
What kind of a hunter are you? You can't even ride a horse.
Papa? What's the matter with him? Papa? Papa, look at him, Papa. Look at him, Papa. Look at him, Ivan Vasilovich.
He
Ivan
makes
Vasilovich.
me sick. I can't breathe. Give me some air.
He's dead. Oh, he's dead. Papa, he's dead. Ivan Vasilovich. Ivan Vasilovich. What have we done? What have we done? He's dead. Oh, get a doctor. Get a doctor. Get a doctor.
Now what? Oh, what's the matter with you?
Well, he's dead. He's dead.
Who's dead? Oh my God. Oh my God, he is dead. Get some water. Get a doctor. Here, drink this. He's not drinking it. That means he's really dead. And everything. Oh, what a mess. I'll kill myself. I'll kill myself. Why did I wait so long to kill myself? What am I waiting for right now? Give me a knife. Lend me a gun. I think he's going to live. Here, drink some water. Here. Oh, that's the way.
Spots, everything is all spots. It's all cloudy. Where am I?
Just get married as soon as you can and get out of here. She says yes. She says yes, and all the rest of it. I give you both my blessing and whatever. Only please just leave me in peace.
What? Who?
She says yes, all right. Go ahead and kiss her. And then get the hell out of here.
He's alive. He's alive. I say yes. Yes, I say yes.
Go
yes.
ahead. Give him a kiss.
Oh, that's very nice. Excuse me, but what's happening? Oh, yes. I remember now. My heart, those spots. I'm so happy, Natalia, but my leg is still paralyzed.
And I'm happy too.
And I'm getting a weight off my shoulders. Oof.
But all the same, you can't admit it now, can't you? Messer is better than Gesser.
He's worse.
He's better.
And they lived happily ever after. Bring on the champagne.
He's worse.
He's better. Better.
Champagne. Bring on the champagne.
He's worse.
Better.
Well, I had a wonderful time writing all this, and I sit here talking to you with a great feeling of peace and contentment. And I hope you enjoyed them. Thank you for the visit. And if you ever pass this way again, please do drop in. And by the way, if you liked my stories and you ever get the chance to pass by the grave of Turgenev, tell him to eat his hat. Thanks again for coming today. We at Theatre World want to remind you there will be a coffee hour at 4 p.m. this Friday. Check the chat for the link to join. This Friday, we're doing an I Love Paris variety show, songs, stories, improv, and a little history of Bastille Day. Please join us. It will put a smile on your face. And the next Theatre World performance will be Tiny Beautiful Things on Wednesday, August 19th. For now, do svidaniya.